And welcome to the Lillian McMorris Show. Thank you so much for joining us. As you know, we've said it in the past, we're in the community for the community. We will be taping some of our, meeting our guests and taping and talking about them within the studio. And you know what? My first guest this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you're watching it, watch the Lillian McMorris Show to learn a whole lot more about what's going on in our community. But this guest is very, very important to us because he is allowing us to have our office and our studio right here at Hollywood Bound Acting Academy. And I want you to please meet Frank Parrillo. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you, Lillian. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I want to publicly say thank you for allowing us to utilize your wonderful office, make our set, you know, just kind of come in and take over.
Well, we're glad to have you. You have done so many wonderful things for this community, and just having you in here being part of our family here is very exciting for me.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We are, you're not estranged to this at all. I mean, this is something, as a child, in entertainment and writing and being a part of plays and doing all of this, that you did. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up in a very big family. There were 7 of us. So when we weren't fighting each other, we got the idea that we had enough people to put on a play, or almost a baseball team. But what we did is we decided to put on plays for our family. So we used to tear the whole living apart on Sunday when my mom worked, and find as many sheets and everything as we can. And we would really write a play for our parents, and then when my mom would come home for Sunday, before we would have Sunday dinner, we would put on these elaborate plays. We'd dress up the best we could. And so I've always wanted to have a life in this industry. Unfortunately, life takes its turns, and
Correct.
You know, I ended up going into the
military. In the military, right. But you never lost that.
No, never.
You still wanted to do, and what I like the most, and it may come from you being in the big family and all of you and your brothers and sisters working together, is how you help the kids and how you give to the kids. I mean, even your office, I mean, I go in there and get snacks. Kid snacks, which I love, you know. So what are you doing here at Hollywood Bound Acting Academy?
Well, I think that the industry as a whole is a good industry. I think it's an industry where people can prosper and they can give of themselves through the arts. But it's also a business where if you're not careful, there are people out there who prey upon you financially and things like that. And, you know, having seen my own family go through things like that, where they're paying a lot of money for nothing just because they have a dream to make it.
Right.
I didn't want that to happen.
They'll tell you need photo shots, you need this, you need that, and you put out gobs of money. I went through it with my daughters, and then they come back and, okay, headshots are $500 or whatever, you know. But I noticed that you don't do that here.
No, we don't do that. We see this as an art through education. And by educating the kids on how to act and how to perform in this industry, they can make their choices as they go along. But we don't have any very large, expensive packages. We don't try to go for long contracts with the parents. This is something that should be somebody's dream, and if it's their dream, you should help them along with it, not take advantage of it.
And I notice you bring in young artists so that the kids can actually see someone else who's doing what they aspire to do.
That's right, we do. We bring Jake Short in from the Ant Farm on the Disney Channel.
Right.
He comes and shares his experience, but he also works with the kids one-on-one from a kid's perspective, which says, you know, oh yeah, it's not just this old person telling me how I should behave.
Exactly.
Here's somebody who's made it in Hollywood at a very young age saying, look, this is what it took, this is the kind of commitment it takes. And I think it means something more to the kids when they hear it from somebody their own age, somebody they can really relate to.
What would you have to say about that? Substance, commitment, being positive, following through on your dreams. What would you tell a parent who has a child who's aspiring to be what you train?
Well, the first thing I would tell a parent is, you know, make sure this is really what your child wants to do. And it's not, it won't take very long when the child either really gains a lot of interest in it or they start to lose interest in it.
Correct.
From there, we can meet with the parents and say, we have you know, more advanced programs so you can put your children in. Billy Huffsey, who is the manager of Jake Short, and also James Maslow from Big Time Rush, teaches here. So he's very much connected to the industry. He can help the kids find an agent in LA. But more than anything, it really boils down to commitment. You said
Right.
it's commitment.
That's right, whether they really want to do it. We
Right.
thank you so much, Frank. Not only thank you for being here and allowing me to take a few minutes of your time, but allowing us to have footage right here at Hollywood Bound Academy. Now, you've got something else that's coming up, and, very briefly, let's go into that, is HBTV with Frank.
That's all right.
What can we expect from HBTV with Frank?
Well, we're starting our own TV program that'll be airing on a web, and we will be interviewing the people that I bring up, casting directors, the actors, and everybody we bring up from LA, but also local people, hopefully like yourself,
Thank you.
and other people in town who are in the entertainment industry, who make an impact on all those people who live here, who want to break into this business.
It's a difficult break, but if you're consistent and you're positive and you say the right things, you have to be careful, because I'm going to tell you, who you talk to, what you say, how you carry yourself, it goes a long way in this industry. Thank you so much, Frank. We've been talking to Frank Parrillo from Hollywood Bound Acting Academy. We'll give you more information on that, or you can get it from our website. And now we're going to go on to our next guest, so don't move. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I had the perfect segue into this next interview. And then I got caught off guard when Frank said he was from a family of 7 children. Well, the segue now is my next guest is from a family of 7 children, with her being the baby. So therefore, acting became natural. Please welcome Vivian Ross.
Yes, acting is natural. Acting out.
Acting out. That's right. I say, hang on. It's my turn. I want the attention.
Exactly.
That's right. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's my honor.
Many years ago, we had a mutual friend in the music world, Mr. Charles Hayes, and you were in a group called Lace at the Riviera.
Yes.
And that was kind of your expose to Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yes.
And you're still here looking wonderful, just as talented, and you have some wonderful ideas that have not only came out from things like that, but throughout your life. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got to where you are right now.
Well, it's a lot like you said, being the baby of 7 and having 5 older brothers have been my blessing, because in my household, it was all music. It was all styles of music. And because there's so many generations that, there's stair steps.
Oh,
so
okay.
there was one that loved rock. There was one that loves jazz, and everything else was garbage. There was one, there's 2 that loves R&B.
Right.
My dad came from Nat King Cole.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, my mother loved Sam Cooke.
There you go.
Yeah, so I had all of these influences throughout my life, and so they helped that foundation of wanting to be an artist. I didn't know what type of artist I wanted to be. And then me twirling around in circles all the time trying to get that attention.
Right.
My mother sent me to dance school.
There you go.
Yes. So go do something with that.
Do something with
So
that.
I started very young. I started when I was 7 at Art Linklater School of Dance, and then I
Oh,
gradually
Lord. Did she
moved
say
to
Art Linklater?
Art Linklater. So that takes you back.
That takes you back a long way.
Box with the slippers. Yeah, so I started off very, very young and started that discipline, and it's very
Exactly.
like you and Frank were discussing, that commitment, that discipline is very important, and it stayed with me throughout. I went to a normal, so to speak, junior high school,
Okay.
and but I always sang in choirs and always danced in dance groups. I mean, even in elementary school, there was an English teacher that taught dance. It was like her passion.
Okay.
So she would always work with the kids, and then I sang in the glee club. So I was always into it.
doing something that had to do with the arts.
The arts. And then I went to Duke Ellington School of the Performing
Oh,
Arts.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Art Linklater to Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when that grind came in, because
Okay.
they pretty much teach you or prepare you for anything that's going to happen in the world. If
Okay.
you really want this, you really got to want
You
it.
got to go for it.
Yeah, and they were very hard, very strict, very mean to me at the time, I felt, when you're young and dumb and you
Yes.
think you know
I know
everything.
it.
But they really, really seasoned us, and they really got us prepared. I mean,
But that preparation has carried you from those teen years
yes.
to throughout your life.
Yes.
Because you're very disciplined now. I watched you last weekend, a couple weekends ago, with a group of women that you were teaching a routine. And your discipline was unbreakable. I mean, even though one of them was complaining and crying, it was too hot, and the other one, ooh, I forgot the words. And then the other one was just trying to keep up, but you stuck to it.
Yeah.
You know, what do our old people say? Stick to itness?
Yes.
You have the stick to itness.
Yes, I better. All those hard teachers. And it paid off, like you said. It's just, it is a discipline. We don't respect it or understand it when it's being taught to us until much later. And it's guided me through a lot of relationships and marriage and, you know, just dealing with people, because if you're not a strong presence, which is what I love and adore about you, then how can you lead? I can't be led by a meek, weak person. I need to know that in your power, what you're saying, you know what you know.
You know what you know.
And when you don't know what you don't know that you don't know.
Stay in your lane.
Yes. Yes.
Dancing, singing, acting, performing, all of those things, but the one thing that we left out is you're a writer.
Yeah, that was a new venture.
Okay.
That was a new venture, and something that was really gifted to me. It was an anointing, something that really came over me spiritually.
Okay.
And I don't know where it came from.
When a Woman Loves, and you tell stories of different women in the same relationship with the same man.
Yes.
And how each one of them handled it differently.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, we're going to show a couple of little excerpts from the play at this point. So take a look at this, and then we're going to come right back and talk to Vivian Ross just a little bit more.
May I say, those grits, those grits find their way to all the right places. Yay! How? You know what the problem is? What? The problem is, you know what the problem is? The problem lies in Viagra.
Now, we see you as and part of the cast singing, dancing, jumping. How difficult was that to get all of these A-type personalities, very talented A-type personalities on the same page to make When a Woman Loves production so successful?
Well, as I was told through a lot of rehearsals, I've done this before, I've done this before, I've done this before. No, you haven't. You haven't done this before. None of us have, including myself. We've done many productions, we've done many musicals, we've sang on stages. When you're pulling a group together and you have a vision, it's hard to get people on the same page as your vision.
Your vision.
Yeah, because they want their input, you know, and I mean, I would tell them that's for your play. When you do your play,
Right. But
you
this is mine.
Right, and this is my vision.
So where do you go from here? With your vision, with all of your artistic talents, where do you go from here?
Broadway.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's always been my goal. I've always wanted to do Broadway. I share with my sister Crystal and my business partner, Crystal Robinson, all the time. When we make it to Broadway, and it's my play, I'll probably kill myself.
Oh, no.
I'll just be so excited.
You'll be so blessed.
I'll probably be so excited.
You'll have one of those come outside of your body sort of experience.
Or Fred Sam, I'm coming to join you, mama. I made it.
You are such a pleasure. I am so happy that you took the time out. I know you're busy with rehearsals. We're busy with our next project.
Yes.
But taking the time to come and visit with me, I appreciate it.
I'm honored.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. You are watching the Lillian McMorris Show. And any more information you would like on our guests, visit our website. Or you can simply give me a call at 888-812-5455. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.